You're watching BCTV. We're all about Branford. You're watching BCTV, Branford Government Television, a service of Branford Community Television. This program is brought to you in part through the support of the town of Branford.
Good evening and welcome to the Branford Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on October 9th, 2025. It's approximately 7 p.m. My name is Fred Russo. I am the Secretary of the Planning and Zoning Commission. I am substituting for our Chairman, Chuck Andres, who's not here this evening. I would like to introduce members of the Branford Planning and Zoning Commission and ask each of them to acknowledge their presence as their name is called. Joe Vaiuso.
Joe Vaiuso's here.
Good. I believe Joe. Got you, Joe. Thank you. Joe Chadwick is not here. Correct, Mikhail?
That is correct.
Joe Chadwick is not. Okay. Marcy Paluzzi.
It's here.
Sharon Hunter is not here. David Dwyer is not here yet. Fred Russo, I'm here. I'd also like to introduce the members of our Branford Planning and Zoning Office and ask each of them to acknowledge their presence as their name is called. Our Director of Planning and Zoning, Mikhail Wackers.
Here.
Our Assistant Town Planner, Deanne Robinson.
Here.
And our Recording Secretary, Michelle Martin.
Here.
Thank you. Our meeting format, or our public hearing format is as follows. The application will go first and present relevant information pertaining to the application. Staff reports will then follow and be read and discussed by members of the Planning and Zoning Office in reference to this application. Commissioners will be asked for their commentary concerning the application. Then public commentary will be heard. The applicant is then allowed to respond to any questions or concerns raised during the public hearing. And once all the testimony is completed, a public hearing will either be closed or possibly continue for a variety of reasons. That decision is generally made after the commissions deliberate on the application. I would like to ask our town planner, Mikhail, if he could read the legal notices.
Yep, thank you. The Planning and Zoning Commission of the town of Branford, Connecticut hereby gives notice of public hearings to be held on Thursday, October 9th, 2025 at 7 p.m. by remote technology to consider the applications listed below. Information regarding how to participate in the public hearings will be provided on the Commission's meeting agenda and will be posted on the town's website at least 24 hours prior to the meeting. Application number 25-8.2, special exception modification for additional office space to be added above previously approved garage located at 261 East Main Street. 261 East Main Street LLC, care of Mark Jackson, applicant owner. Application 25-8.5, special exception for accessory apartment located at 165-195 Main Street, Teddy's Store LLC, Bill Shulube, applicant owner. Application number 25-8.6, special exception and coastal site plan for an accessory structure located at 39 Prospect Hill Road, Richard Brooks, applicant owner. Application 25-9.3, special exception for cannabis establishment, micro cultivator located at 45 Northeast Industrial Road. Attorneys Christopher M. Russo, applicant. Ben Rofe, Branford 3 LLC, care of Craig Ben Rofe's owner. At said hearings, all persons have the right to be heard. Copies are on file in the Planning and Zoning Commission's office at the Planning and Zoning Department, 1019 Main Street, Branford, Connecticut, 06405. Written communications may be sent to the above address or to planningandzoning@branford-ct.gov. Those are the public hearing notices.
Thank you. I lost my screen. Here we go. Mikhail, if I can you also go over the
Sure.
how to public access our Zoom meeting?
Yep. So just so everyone knows, the instructions are on the agenda for how to participate in the hearing. If you wish to speak and you're using a computer with a microphone, you can click the raised hand in the participant window. And if you're calling on a phone, you press *9 to raise your hand, and dial information is listed on the agenda. If you don't wish to speak, you may submit comments using the chat feature. We will monitor as best we can, but speaking is preferred. If you are only viewing, you are not required to have your real name listed through the Zoom. A pseudonym may be acceptable if you're not speaking. If you are going to speak, you must provide your name as required by Public Act 22-3. Again, all details are listed on the agenda.
Thank you. Because just before we begin our public hearings, I just want to confirm that the Teddy Store LLC application 25-8.5 will not be heard tonight.
We will open the public hearing, but we will keep it open because we cannot take a vote on it.
Okay, fine. So then we'll begin with the public hearings, and actually first number 1 and 2 are going to be heard as a single hearing. And this is with Attorney Len Fasano, Sharetska P. Management LLC. It's Incentive Housing Overlay District, and it's also to construct 7 residential units. So, Attorney Fasano, if you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes. This is a continuation from the public hearing that we had last month, and I think there was just a little bit of confusion, which I think we straightened out with staff over the month. But basically what this is there is commercial on the first floor consisting of a restaurant and some retail uses. And then as original structure, there were some offices and a few apartments in there. And the idea is the offices are just very difficult to sell, to rent, I should say. And so we propose to do is take advantage of the regulations and add on the second floor a 3-bedroom apartment and a 2-bedroom apartment. And then on the third floor, there will be 4 1-bedroom apartments. As I should say, on the second floor, it's 3-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 1-bedroom. And the third floor is 4 1-bedrooms. So that's a total of 7. So essentially, everything is in place. There's no outside work to be done. Everything is internal. The landscaping is there. We submitted the plan. I think staff has reviewed it again with the new floor plan. The parking was the issue the last time, some confusion how many spaces. At the end of the day, we need 22 to comply. We have 22. Staff's recommended approval. Obviously, we agree with that. And that's all it is. There's no outside work whatsoever. Everything is internal, and just making it under the provisions you have. 2 units will be affordable. They'll be designated. We have submitted a plan already to be reviewed by staff. And that's really where we are. I could go into more, but some of you, or maybe all of you, have already heard this. That's about all I really have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Attorney Fasano. Mikhail, do you have any notes that you'd like to discuss with this application?
Yeah, I'll share my screen. And so we went through this at the last meeting. So here's the site at 230 East Main Street, looking to reutilize the upper stories, existing upper stories, converting from office to residential. In order to do that, they are looking to apply the IHOD zone, which is that Incentive Housing Overlay District, on the property, which allows up to 20 units per acre. So 7 units on this site is at least meets the density requirements. We have gone through all the requirements of the IHOD zone, and the site is well positioned given that it's close proximity to public transport. It's already in areas of concentrated development. and meets the bulk requirements, and they're looking to abide by the affordability requirements. They did submit revised floor plans, which help clarify the bedroom count and the unit count. And that's important for determining number of parking spaces, which Attorney Fasano mentioned. They do, based on the new bedroom count and the existing restaurant retail, they are required to have 22 spaces, and they currently are proposing 22 spaces, which is essentially the existing layout that's on the existing parking lot. Comments were sent to fire marshal, town engineer, buildings official, and they all returned favorably. Town engineer required that they go to WPCA for sewer connection capacity, and WPCA approved that on September 9th. With that, I'm going to go through the draft motions. So the first motion that we would have to essentially approve is applying the zoning map amendment, establishing the IHOD zone on the property. And there's a draft motion in order to do that. It's a finding that the commission considers the most recent plan of conservation and found the zoning map amendment to be located in the incentive housing overlay district at 230 East Main Street are in accordance with the comprehensive plan and consistent with the plan of conservation and development. And the amendment shall have an effective date of October 30th. If you approve that, then you can do a second motion or a special exception that would actually allow the residential use on the property. We do have a number of conditions. The first, that the housing plan just needs to be corrected. That it does reflect that 2 units are required to be affordable according to state requirements, and that we make sure that the affordable housing plan is reviewed by the town attorney. There's a landscaping component to this. I know there's been some landscaping already done. We want to make sure that the landscaping is completed prior to certificate of occupancy being issued. Our standard lighting conditions, and then finally, the special exception should be made effective on October 30th. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for our town planner? Hearing none, I'll ask, do any of the commissioners have any questions concerning this application? Anybody have any comments? Any commissioner has a comment? If not, then I'll ask the Attorney Fasano if he'd like to respond or make a closing statement.
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know you have a full agenda, so thank you.
Thank you, too. Okay, so I think we can close this public hearing for the evening and possibly vote on it as well. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman, if I may, for 1 second.
yes.
I normally do stay right through to the end of the meeting since I have something on the agenda, but I have to be in East Haven Planning and Zoning at 7:45, so I'm going to sign off, but it's not out of disrespect. Usually I like to stay since it's being voted on, but I'm leaving because I have another project.
Thank you for the heads up. Appreciate it. Thank you, too. Our next public hearing is Teddy's Store LLC, care of Billy Shalubi. It's at 165, 195 Main Street, special exception, apartment over convenience store. It's application 25-8.5. As our town planner mentioned, that we're going to open the public hearing, but we're not going to vote on anything tonight. More information is going to be brought in. So, is the applicant here?
I am, yes.
Oh, good. Is that Bill?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Bill, go ahead. Feel free to make your case.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's actually pronounced Bill Schwabi, but that's probably
okay. Sorry.
no problem at all. So basically, what I'd like to do is I'm applying for the special exemption to put the people that lease the store from me upstairs. And for a couple different reasons. I want them to be part of the community there. That's why I want them to live there. And not like to have somebody on the property with all the burglaries and everything going on, the response time. Everything would be so much quicker. It's hard to rent offices now. There is no changes to the exterior of the building. I'm not looking to rent it to the public. It'd be less parking for me. And the business owner would be the caretaker on the premises. And I'm also waiting for the WCPA application to be approved.
That it?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Cal?
I'll go through this quickly, but we'll probably go into more thoroughly after we hear from the WPCA. This is the property at 165, 195 East or Main Street. It's a gas station with a retail store with offices above. So this is Teddy's store, and the unit that they want to create is in obviously the offices. It has been a retail store. It was actually a one-story building at one point, and in 1980s, a second story was constructed specifically for office purposes. Even though it looks like a former residential property, it has never been a residential property. It meets the bulk requirements. There is one non-conforming impervious cover aspect that exists, but it is allowed to continue as legal non-conforming. It would meet the parking requirements, and you actually extensively reviewed this a couple of years ago with the idea of a proposed convenience store and new pumping canopy. There was a landscaping plan done, so I pulled that survey and then highlighted the building in question. It's been circulated to obviously departments and WPCA. I believe they've received an application, and it's possible that they could review it on October 21st, which would be 2 days before the next Planning and Zoning Commission hearing. But since it is a change of use, the fire marshal and the building official will need to sort of have building permits pulled just to ensure that it complies with the residential requirements now, as opposed to the business requirements. And for now, I've not developed a staff recommendation until we get the WPCA approval. So with that, I'll stop sharing because as we get more information, I'll be able to give a definitive recommendation to the commission.
Thank you, Mikhail. Do any commissioners have any questions for the applicant? Any questions for the applicant? Okay, seeing none. How about the public? Is there anybody here from the public that has any questions for the applicant? I'd like to make a statement.
I do. I'm Sharon Smith Allen, 50 Home Place.
Where are you? Do you see her?
I do. She has her hand raised.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, it said 10 parking spaces are there. I'd like to know where the parking spaces are because I live on Home Place and I don't see how there could be 10 parking spaces there.
Yeah, very quickly, I can share the screen. There was a site plan reviewed. So there's the potential for creating up to 16 parking spaces if you include the layout that was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission and approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission, I believe in 2021. So it is shown that it is feasible to create up to 16 parking spaces.
I mean, I don't see how that's possible, but where could you, like with your little mouse thing, show me where all the parking spaces are?
Yeah. So there's one.
So that's behind the building?
So here's Main Street. And
Yeah.
here's
Home Place where I live, yeah.
Yep. So there's 3 spaces, 1, 2, 3 in the front.
That's like in front of the gas station okay.
Correct. To the western side of near the
Okay.
property boundary. And then 4 spaces in front of what is essentially Teddy's store, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
There's another 4 spaces to the west of Teddy's store, so 8, 9, 10, 11.
So that's behind the store? Behind it? That doesn't, so that's behind the store? Okay.
Correct. And then there's another 5 spaces along the western boundary to the south, so 12 through 16. All
So,
right.
I would like to know if there's any way that any people on Home Place could petition to have that area where it says 35.0 on Home Place. That is access to Home Place. And people from the gas station and from the convenience store, and it used to be the liquor store, they pull into Home Place and cut you off as you're pulling into Home Place. Is there any way you can close off that access to Home Place?
It's an existing curb cut, and it's really it's a public road, so it'd be the engineering department that would make those determinations about whether curb cuts should be, can even be considered to be abandoned. Typically, it's the property owner would have to make those type of changes, and circulation would need to sort of require that, but the property owner right now is not looking to make any changes physically to the property. They're looking to make allow a different use.
It's just like dangerous there. When you're pulling in, people come from the gas station and the convenience store and the old liquor store, and they just like pull out right as you're pulling in. And it's so close to the main street that it's just a hazard. I think it's a hazard. So if anybody on Home Place had an issue with it, we'd have to go to the engineering department.
Again, they handle the public right of way, so Home Place is a public street. Again, the curb cut is, I can't say that the engineering department has any ability to make changes here since there's no proposal to make changes.
Yeah, it's always been a hazard, and I don't know.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's a bus stop right there on the corner of Main and Home Place. That where their signs are, that's the school bus stop. So, yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Sally. Mikhail, I have a question myself. I recall this application when it came up with the canopy. I think there was a convenience store they were proposing at the time, and you might be. I hope you can help me with my recollection of this, but there was a question about how many parking spaces, and I think the question back then was how many parking spaces did the garage need? And I think they were going for a substantial decrease in the number of parking spaces required for a garage that does I don't know how many bays they had, 3 or 4 bays, something like that. And so I'm just wondering the number of parking spaces that exist. How do they fit in with the gas station and the parking spaces that they need? Is there an overlap there? Because I know it's all one piece of property.
Yeah. So to that point, we do calculate all the uses on the property. The big change here is that you're taking the office use, which has a requirement of 1 space for every 250 square feet of office space, and now you're reducing it down to essentially two required spaces. So the requirement, there's less demand now for parking based on the proposed conversion to residential.
Yeah, I just want to get that clarified for myself because I remember when we went through that application, it went on for several meetings, and I think that the stumbling block in that particular time was the number of parking spaces. And but I see your point. Yeah, you're reducing the kind of sense the use of it all. So yeah, okay, I'm fine with that. Let's see, where are we? So did any of the commissioners have any questions or any public? We did that. So I'll ask the applicant. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I do not. Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Okay, so as long as there's no more questions, what I will do is close this public hearing out, and we'll move on.
We'll keep it open.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. We're gonna keep this one open until our next meeting, I'm assuming. Correct?
Correct.
Okay, good. Okay, the next one is Richard Brooks, applicant and owner, 39 Prospect Hill Road. Special exception, a coastal site plan for an accessory structure over 15 foot in height or 750 square feet. I believe, Michaela, you were going to do this. You were going to do the staff report too, but I'll ask, is the applicant here to make this for the public hearing? Sir, Michaela, do we have someone for the public hearing, or are you just going to do a?
So they will. I think they might be still in wetlands. So I don't know.
Okay.
I would say let's keep it open for now.
Okay.
And not close it. And if they come back, we can entertain to have it brought back
So
up.
we're going to just keep it on the agenda until the end, and then we'll make a decision whether or not it's going to get pushed or continued. Okay, good enough. The next public hearing is 261 East Main Street, Mark Jackson, applicant and owner. Special exception modification, additional office space to be added above previously approved garage. That's application 25-8.2. And I would ask, is the applicant here? Do we have our applicant? Is Mark Jackson here?
It should be Jim Preddy as the agent.
Jim Preddy? I don't see. I didn't see Jim Preddy here either on the participant list. Well,
McKeel.
Yes.
Jim Preddy, I believe, might be at another meeting.
Wetlands. Yeah.
Yes, so that's why we don't see him here, I think. He might jump over. Sometimes he does that. He leaves one meeting quickly to try to make it to another one.
Mikhail Fred Russo. So why don't we move on to number 6 and see if we get anybody that comes in between, then we'll decide what happens to these two. Maybe he'll be able to get here.
Yeah, I think Jim Preddy is also representing the previous one as well, 39 Prospect Hill and
Okay.
61. So why don't we move forward?
So we can go on to, actually I just see Attorney Rousseau just tagged on, so I think he did. So let's go to number 6. This is Attorney Christopher M. Rousseau, applicant. Is it Ofe, Branford 3 LLC. It's on 45 North East Industrial Road. It's application 25-9.3, and it's a cannabis establishment micro cultivator. So I would ask Attorney Rousseau if you'd like to begin.
Yes, thank you. So, good evening, members. It's nice to see you all again. Just for the record, my name is Christopher Rousseau, and I'm a partner at the law firm of Pullman and Comley. We have offices located at 90 State House Square in Hartford, Connecticut. Our firm represents the applicant before you this evening. It's 5 Spring Hill Drive, LLC, who is here to discuss its special exception application. With me tonight is Mr. Tyler Crespo, who is an agent for the applicant. So as you all may recall, we presented to the commission back on September 4th regarding a text amendment to the zoning regulations, specifically as they pertain to the micro cultivator. So we thank you again for your support on the text amendment. And just you guys have heard most of this, but to provide some quick background, the applicant is in the process of purchasing the real property located at 45 Northeast Industrial Road. Upon purchase, the plan is for them to lease the space to an affiliate, Elm City Ag, who would then operate a micro cultivator at the property. So in connection with all that, we're here tonight to request our special exception application for a micro cultivator be approved by the commission. So I know we have provided a number of plans to the planning and zoning department, which I believe you all have received to review. So if there's any specific questions on the plans when I'm done with my presentation, I'll be happy to pull them up on the screen, and Tyler and I could answer questions. So in the our application, it also included a detailed memo that outlined our compliance with the criteria contained in section 9.8.f of the zoning regulations. So again, would be happy to answer any specific questions you may have that came about from your review of that memo. But I'll quickly go because I know you guys have a lot going on tonight. I'll just go over a few key items here so we can just keep it moving for you all. So kind of at the text amendment application, we had to show that this use was consistent with the plan of conservation and development. So the POCD places great emphasis on economic development, which provides one or more of the following, being jobs and income for people, goods and services for people and or businesses, and or net tax revenue to the municipality. The POCD also states that both business and industrial development should be encouraged to take advantage of Branford's strategic location and provide for jobs, goods, services, and enhance the tax base. So in short, and how we proved that the text amendment phase, we feel that the micro cultivator use does comply with the POCD. And I think that was, again, established at the text amendment phase. So I think one other important item to note here is that there will be no exterior development at the property. The current style of the building on the property matches the style and characteristics of the IG2 zone in the immediate area. And then any new developments in the adjacent area will likely match the characteristics of the building at the property. As Northeast Industrial Road is really kind of a little commercial industrial corridor in the town over there. And then, so the proposed micro cultivator will also not have an adverse effect upon the neighboring area resulting from the use of signs, lights, colors, noise makers, anything like that. The signage that's allowed for a micro cultivator, again, just like everything else, is highly regulated by the CTDCP regulations as well as the zoning regulations. So there won't be any flashing lights or anything like that that's going to kind of disturb anybody. And I think here, and I think Tyler would agree, the real goal, if we were given the opportunity to have our application approved, is to kind of fly under the radar and essentially not have residents or business owners or individuals even know that the micro cultivator is there. And then kind of touch on security and ventilation and all of that. So the building and property is already equipped with a robust security, advanced ventilation systems and utilities, and the existing infrastructure provides for a low impact retrofit. So I believe we provided an odor abatement and security plan along with our application. We would be happy to get into that once I wrap this up here in a second. If you had any specific questions. In security measures, it will include surveillance cameras, monitor sensors, key card access, and secured storage constructed with concrete and expanded steel for the actual storage of the cannabis. So basically no one would ever be able to break in and steal it. So Elm City Ag and the applicant plan to construct the cultivation all on the inside of the building within the open warehouse space using structural insulated panels. That would be similar to that of something like commercial cold storage that you would see. So I think it's also important that I just quickly kind of touch on traffic. Again, this was mentioned at the text amendment phase. The applicant in Elm City Ag project to maybe have 8 to 10 employees to start. So the property has 62 parking spaces, so it's more than adequate to park for all of the employees and any other employees of other tenants that may be at the building. And we view this kind of as a small scale manufacturer, so that it's really it's not like a traditional retail store. So you would see maybe 2 to 4 trips for 1,000 square feet of gross floor area. But given the way the growth cycle is, you're probably going to see less than that. And you would see some Sprinter vans coming in and out sporadically. And then just to kind of wrap this up, I think it's important to mention that the applicants and Elm City Ag's principals have been working in the cannabis business for approximately 9 years. And during that time, they have never received a single complaint from town officials where they operate. No neighbors have ever complained to them regarding the uses or what the property looked like from a landscaping or any other kind of standpoint like that. And they really do pride themselves on running first class operations and plan to do the same at the property in Branford, given the opportunity. And this would obviously include continual upkeep and maintenance of the building, landscaping, parking lot, all of that good stuff, lighting. They want to be a good neighbor to everybody, and they want to keep the property up and keep it nice. So I think with that, we thank you for your time and consideration. Myself or Tyler would be happy to answer any questions you have, and the applicant definitely looks forward to working with the town on the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Rousseau. Tyler, do you have anything that you'd like to add?
I think Chris pretty much hit the nail on the head. I think we want to stress the idea of being a good neighbor, like you said, and hopefully make a beneficial impact to the community here in Branford. And yeah, looking forward to the potential opportunity to do so.
Thank you very much. Mikhail?
Yes, I'll share my screen. So this is a proposed microcultivator cannabis establishment in the I-2 zone, which is now allowed as a special exception for the most recent amendment the commission had passed. Microcultivator, just to remind everyone, is a non-retail establishment for cannabis cultivation. And it's microcultivator is actually a state of Connecticut term for a specific type of permit that they'll be applying for to be able to do such use at this site. But it permits growing in a space of not less than 2,000 square feet and not more than 10,000 square feet of grow space. They're looking to use part of the existing building. There's another tenant, and in the future that might grow into that. That growth might require them to come back and receive further approvals, but they don't need that to apply for the permit currently or begin operation. They meet their bulk requirements or they're non-conforming. It's an existing building. They're really not looking to do any footprint changes, and they're using the existing building envelope for their entire operation. Here's just the calculations in existing. Again, this is an existing building with an existing sort of built-in infrastructure, including parking. There are currently 62 parking spaces that exist. Technically, by the parking requirements, 73 spaces would be required for the proposal. But the demand on the existing use and historic patterns of parking really don't necessitate 73 spaces. The historical pattern has seen the parking lot been, and most often the case, it's been less than half full. And that's looking at aerial photography over the past 10 years. And then their operation themselves, taking up more than half of the building, it will only consist of 8 to 10 employees. They're not proposing any new signage with this special exception permit. If they do signage, they'll apply through the zoning permit process. There's no outdoor lighting that's being proposed, no grading, no changes in existing impervious services that would require additional stormwater controls, no construction that would require erosion control or sedimentation control. And then this has been circulated to all departments, so inland wetlands, police, fire, engineering, building official, and East Shore Health Department have all weighed in. The one comment that probably still needs to be sort of addressed is whether or not is the water usage that may happen. It's not a change of use, so it doesn't necessitate a WPCA approval for the amount of water being discharged into the sewer system. But WCPA has requested what the typical anticipated discharge might be, and to figure out if there's any approvals on there and that might be needed. We'd look to have that as a condition of any approval that might be considered tonight. Under 7.20, there are a number of criteria required of any cannabis establishment. One is a distance requirement between this location and hospitals and other similar and schools and similar type of locations. In doing a search, the nearest church is over 1,500 feet away, which is almost double the 750 that is required. And that church is actually located at 9 Business Park Drive. It's actually in an industrial building. And the nearest known school is located almost 6,500 feet away at 185 Damascus Road, which is well beyond the 750 feet radius required. There's, again, signage requirements. Since this is not a retail establishment, there's minimal amount of signage required. Again, some of these pertain more to the retail uses. So since they're not doing retail, these requirements don't apply to them. And then the parking requirements we've commented on. They are not near Long Island Sound, so they're all beyond 6,000 feet. And the one item that did come out of the amendment that was passed by Planning and Zoning Commission is that the operation needs to ensure that there's no odor from cannabis or cannabis products detectable at the property line or beyond. And the applicant is proposing an advanced ventilation system along with odor abatement. The standard special exception criteria was commented on by the applicant, so I won't go through them again. And then we recommend that they meet all the requirements. There's one modification that we would like to see, and that is under section 6.5 that deals with parking. Part I of that section allows for modifications of parking standards based on historic patterns of use and the anticipated employee count. So we look to see that the existing provided parking of 62 spaces would be the modifications. So just continuing what exists from a parking standpoint. The special exceptions, we will then see, look for a finding that it is meets all the requirements under section 9.8 and have a modification requirement under 6.5I that the parking of the existing number 62 spaces is sufficient on the historic patterns. Special exception conditions would be that to comply with all fire building official comments, that they need to submit stamped and sealed drawings, comply with engineer comments about the WCPA approval and usage and discharge level requirements. We look to have an odor abatement plan submitted by the applicant prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy. Any proposed signage shall be reviewed by a town planner for compliance with signage requirements. And then obviously our standard lighting requirements. And then if you approve it, have the effective date be October 30th, 2025. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Do you have a question for our town planner? If not, I will ask, do any commissioners have any questions concerning this application? Any questions from the general public? Oh, Marcy, go ahead.
Yeah, I know the building, but it's a multi-story building, correct?
As I understand it, it's a mezzanine.
There is a small mezzanine in a portion of the building. That portion is currently vacant, and on our plans is actually going to be stay existing as just office space. It needs a little facelift. It's been neglected for years, but yeah.
Right, but how many floors are the building, is the building?
Oh, the building's a single story with one small mezzanine. So
Oh, it is?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I
single
just thought it looked
story.
like, okay, so
Yeah,
it's growing on the first floor.
correct. Yeah.
Okay. And how high are the ceilings, just out of curiosity?
I believe they're 16 feet in the majority of the building.
Okay, so it is quite industrial.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Marcy. Does any other commissioner have a question for the applicant? If not, how about the public? Is there anybody from the general public that would like to ask a question? None? Okay, so I'll ask Attorney Rousseau if he would like to make any closing comments.
I think we do have a
Yeah, we have one.
Where are we?
Craig Ben, the property owner, I believe.
Where is that, Mikhail? I don't see it.
I'm asking him to unmute, so.
Okay.
Hey there.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, sure.
I'm Craig Benneroff, a member of one of the ownership entities of the property. And I really just wanted to say, having been exposed to Mr. Crespo throughout these hearings, just most impressed with his, understanding of the operation. And I think it'll be a great use for the building. This is the back part of the building. It's been a difficult part of the building to lease, and I think this is an excellent use for it. I'm very appreciative to the board for allowing the use into the zoning code. Also, having been to some of these board hearings in a couple other communities, I also say there's my experience here listening to the Branford Commission. Everyone's very pleasant, productive, efficient. It's been a really nice experience to see. That's really all I have to say.
Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Are there any other, anybody else from the public that has a comment to make? If not, then I think I was going to ask Attorney Rousseau if he had a closing comment, if he chose to do so.
Yeah, and I just had one quick question for Mikhail on the WPCA. I saw Tyler, he sent some information. So was that satisfactory, or I just want to make sure we're on top of what we have to get done?
If you have submitted to them, that's good. They can't make a determination whether there's a threshold change.
Okay.
You're not triggering a change of use, but I think I'll follow up, and we have it as a condition if you get an approval, then we can use that, and they'll as long as they sign off, then we should be good.
Okay, that's great. And then, the odor abatement plan and everything, hoping we get approved, we can work directly with you to get that in the file. And
Correct.
so again, I appreciate everybody's time. It's, I understand late nights and all that, so we do appreciate you taking the time to hear our application.
Thank you very much. Mikhail, I think we can close this public hearing, so we will close it. Mikhail, before we go any further, I noticed that Dave Dyer is here, one of our commissioners, so I'd like to at least officially state that we have an additional commissioner now on the meeting here.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I'm late, Fred.
And he's an alternate that will be seated to vote on these.
All right, thank you.
A question, Mikhail, for you. I know we have two public hearings where Attorney Perito is not here at the moment, and I'm just wondering, would it be appropriate to move on to the hearing for Governor's Island? I'm not even sure that's going to be scheduled or not, but if it would.
Those aren't hearings, but I see a JP on the list. Is that Jim Preddy, or is that not Jim Preddy? Yeah, I did email with him. He's trying to get over. He is on inland wetlands right now. That's the challenge when we change our schedule and it conflicts with inland wetlands. We can bring it back up.
Later on in the meeting?
Yeah, he should be switching over as soon as he can.
Okay, well, I'm okay with that. So at this stage of the game, we're just going to maybe just move on to the next, can we vote on the ones that we've done?
We can vote on the ones we've done.
Okay, let's do that. And this way we can get that. So the first one that we discussed was let's make sure we know who's being seated. So all of our commissioners will be seated. So we'll have Joe Vayuzo, Marcy Paluzzi, Dave Dwyer, myself. There'll be 4 of us voting tonight on these public hearings. So the first one was with Attorney Lynn Fasano and at the 230 East Main Street application. Mikhail, you have anything more to add to this? No, we're going over.
No, but I'll share my screen so you can see the motions and vote on them that way. So the first one would be an IHOD finding. And if that passes, then you can do the special exception findings and conditions.
Okay, so do you suggest that we vote on the IHOD first and get that out of the way? So that's kind of officially done. Okay, so I'll ask commissioners, does anybody have a question concerning the zoning amendment HOD findings at this time? If we do not have any question about it, can I ask one of our commissioners to make a motion on this application?
I'll make a motion to approve the icon as presented.
Thank you, Marcy. Can I get a second on that?
Dave Dyer, give the second.
I think Joe Vayuzo was in there first, but so we'll
Yep,
give it to Joe.
no problem.
Okay. Let's take a vote. Marcy?
Marcy approves.
Joe Vayuzo?
Joe Vayuzo approves.
Fred Russo approves, and Dave?
I approve.
Okay, so we have all in favor, so that is passed. The next next public hearing was Teddy's. We're just gonna continue that.
We'll need a motion now on the special exception component.
Excuse me, you're right.
Sorry.
Okay, so we are there any? Michaela, do you want to say anything about that, or should we just?
No, I just did. There are a number of conditions. Correcting the housing plan, and that all the housing affordability components are properly filed with the town clerk and approved by town planner. Compliant with other department comments, engineer, fire, police, building official. The landscaping be completed prior to certificate of occupancy, lighting standard requirements, affordability plan reviewed by town attorney, and then the effective date. So those are the conditions of the special exception.
Thank you. Do any commissioners have any questions about those conditions and findings?
No.
Marcy?
Nope.
Oh, you're
I'll
good.
make a motion to approve the 7 residential units with the conditions as presented by Mikhail.
Marcy makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Dave Dyer.
Dave Dyer makes a second.
Yep.
And we'll take a vote. Marcy?
Marcy approves.
Joe Vayuzo?
Joe Vayuzo approves.
Dave Dyer?
I approve.
Fred Russo approves, so that is passed. The next one is, Michael, let me ask you, on the Prospect Hill Road, what are we doing with that? Just letting
That's going to be Jim Preddy.
Okay, yeah, oh, that's right.
He's trying to get over here as quick as possible.
Okay,
so give him a little more time.
All right, and so the last one we have is the micro cultivator application. And again, Michaela, I rely on you to make some commentary.
All right, I see Jim, but why don't we go ahead and vote on that one, and then we can hand it over to Jim.
Okay, so you want to do the multi-cultivator first?
Yes.
Okay, so
just a real recap. We just talked about it, but this special exception finding. The key part is obviously that we find out it complies with the special exception criteria 9.8, but also that we would utilize the modification allowed under 6.5I to essentially modify it from 73 to the 62 existing spaces. Since it's been sufficient for based on historical use of the patterns of the building, and the new users essentially they only have 8 to 10 employees that'll be on the site. There are a number of conditions. Comply with fire marshal and building official comments. Comply with the town engineer comments about WCA, water usage, and whether or not that requires further approvals. Odor abatement plan to be submitted to the town. Any and all signage be reviewed and approved by the town planner. Lighting are standard requirements, and then special reception be an effective date of October 30th. And with that, you guys can, I guess, discuss.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from any of the commissioners on this application?
You want questions or discussion?
A discussion.
Are you going around the clock like,
No, I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
If you want to speak, feel free.
yeah, no, this is one of those applications that it gives me pause based on the use, but it sounds, when I hear about the building mechanics having the high ceilings and the minimal traffic demand, and that it's really, I think, something that's going to be done in the background, as long as the odors are under control. I think it's a fine addition to the industrial park area.
I agree, and Marcy, what I liked about it was the security. When you have a product like marijuana, I think it's very vulnerable for some kind of being stolen. So I think they made a good case about how they're going to protect it. So that's a good thing. Is there any?
It's really about distribution, right?
Yes, kind of retail outlets. They're not going to have people traipsing in and out of there. So I think that, and I think where it's located is good. It's not on the main drag somewhere. So I'm glad with the way they made the presentation. I'll ask, is any other commissioners that may have a question? If not, I will ask one of our commissioners to make a motion.
Marcy will make that motion to approve with the conditions presented by our planner.
Thank you, Marcy. Do we have a second?
Joe Vayuso seconds.
Thank you, Joe. Joe seconds it. Let's vote. Marcy?
Marcy approves.
Joe Vayuso?
Joe approves.
Dave Dwyer?
Dave approves.
And Fred Russo approves. So that one is also passed. Because now you said Attorney Perito was here?
No, Jim Preddy is here.
Oh, Jim Preddy's here. Okay.
Close.
And Jim, are you doing two?
I am.
Oh, that's the JP.
Jim Perito has more hair than I do, by the way.
Oh, that's a JP that's here. Okay. Okay, I got it.
I was on.
Jim, we waited for you, so
I appreciate it.
We're gonna do you're gonna do both of them, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you want to start with
39 Prospect Hill?
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So yeah, Jim Preddy, Criscola Engineering, 420 East Main Street in Branford. The JP was me. I was on the wetland meeting, and so I was kind of trying to track you guys at the same time. Hopefully you can see the plan. There's an existing house at this property. It's been there for a lot of years. I think it's about 100 years old. They're proposing to, and I'll zoom in a little bit, add an addition to the house, and then like a covered, open covered area to a detached garage. So this will just be a roof, no walls that's in between, with an accessory dwelling unit above. There's a new septic system that has been reviewed and approved locally and by state health. The existing septic system was down here on the beach. Not sure how that ever happened, but that will be abandoned, and the tank and the pump chamber that's on the tidal side will be removed. So there'll be a new septic tank out here and septic system slightly relocated driveway to, the way this is set up is that there's garage doors on both sides so they could drive in and then kind of come around and drive back out. Typical erosion controls along the downhill side of the disturbed areas. I was just at wetland and received approval. One of the conditions are that we will be adding a secondary row here of hay bales behind the silt fence because the concern of the proximity of the wetlands here, so that we'll be doubling up in the erosion controls in this area. There's an existing gravel drive that we'll be adding larger stone to during construction to keep the dirt off of the paved private drive that's over here. Stockpile area in the higher portion of the lot. Very minimal regrading. There's some dead trees in this area that would be looming over the new structure, so they'll be coming down anyway. But again, we have a retaining wall here to limit the amount of grading. There is a retaining wall on this side. However, it's only a foot here, and it actually goes the other way. We're cutting in over here. We did have a patio with a hot tub in this area that we've removed because it was within the 25-foot coastal resource setback. So that got taken off very recently. And all we have is a access from the back door and with an outdoor shower. I do have, hold on. I do have architectural plans. I thought I had out. Oh. No. Sorry, bear with me. Okay. So these are, make this a little bigger. These are the new floor plans, but this is the added area here with the covered breezeway there, or drive under in the garage.
Did you close? Thank you. I couldn't see him that well.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And just to give you a sense for, so this is what it'll look like. This is the old part of the house. There's this, and the reason why they're keeping a good portion of the old part of the house is because of this stonework that was original to the house. There's a chimney and an entryway here. This screen porch is already there. So this is that covered area, and here's the garage with the ADU above. I think that's about all I can.
Can you turn off the comments and the tools so we can?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
I don't know why that does that every time now.
Defaults. So is that left structure completely new or just the area above the garage?
No, this will be new. This whole thing will be new.
What's the total square footage? Do you know?
The whole house.
Yeah.
I did have that somewhere. Hold on. Main house. So the main house will be approximately 4,400 square feet. And the apartment or the ADU is 900 square feet, just under 900 square feet.
How big is the site?
The site,
Yeah. The prop,
the property area is
It's 58,000 square feet.
58,000.
so it's over an acre. Okay.
That's over an acre, clear.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a sense of the size relative to the space. But
Yeah.
based on that, don't you have to go to the Stony Creek review board and all that?
No, they have a clause that only things that are visible from the public road.
Oh, okay.
This is well off of a private road.
Well, it's lovely, regardless. But I just, yeah.
Yeah, Marcy, I mean, we're only at 11% with floor area ratio, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, there's more than enough space. I knew it was a big structure and I just wasn't familiar with the property. And then I knew the Stony Creek had that caveat about square footage and I didn't realize had to be visible from the road. So that's good to know. I have no other questions.
Okay, Mikhail, do you have any?
Yeah, let me run through the staff comments. Jamie Frederick did the staff comments, but she's running wetlands tonight. So I'll do my best to review what she put together. As you know, it's a special exception in coastal site plan review for an accessory dwelling in a garage. You saw the rendering. This is actually the reverse of what I think Jim had shown. It is it is a non-conforming lot. It does have variances in place. It is also encroaching by the 25-foot critical coastal resource setback, but it is an R3. Any nonconformities are existing, legal nonconforming. The accessory structure satisfies all the requirements. This is over 15 feet in height, so there's a special exception required for the height aspect of the accessory structure. It satisfies every item that would be applicable for an accessory apartment. Here's the Stony Creek Village District, the section that talks about why it would not be reviewed by the Stony Creek Review Board, and that it would be for anything that requires special exception, but it would need to be in view from the public roadways within the Stony Creek Village District, and this is well beyond that. Coastal site plan review, it is subject to that review. We did get a letter today from DEEP, essentially approving the requirement. The only aspect they wanted to see adjusted was the patio that was encroaching on the 25-foot coastal resource setback. And Jim had done that already, actually independent of the DEEP review, I believe.
Correct.
Then departments weighed in. Town engineer is just reiterating that coastal DEEP needs to weigh in, and which they have done. Eastern Shore Health District has weighed in on the septic system, which I think Jim had alluded to. And building department made some comments about the roof structure and retaining wall needing to be engineered. And then in the wetlands just did their review tonight as well. So with that, we can entertain findings if the commission wishes to do so. The findings would be that we find that it's in compliance, and that it also the coastal site plan is consistent with the goals and policies of the coastal management area. There are conditions. Some of them have already been sort of informed with, but the first and foremost is East Shore Health District approval for the combined septic system. Needs to be obtained prior to site work. Prior to site work, all erosion controls need to be installed and inspected. We have our standard lighting conditions as item 3. And then the fourth item is that the owner, as an accessory apartment, needs to file essentially the deed restriction that it conforms to affordable housing if the unit is to be rented. And with that, I'll turn it back over to the chair.
Thank you. Are there any more comments from our commissioners? Dave? Joe? If not,
I have one more quick
go ahead,
question.
Marcy. Sure.
Do they have access to the water there?
They
Can I-
actually, Jim Predigan, they actually did, well, the previous owner did get approval from a dock there that appears to have never been built.
Okay, so they would have to come back for
They
the
would have to
camera
go
view
back
on that.
to
Yeah.
DEP because that, I believe it's been more than 10 years since that happened, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Is there anybody from the public that would like to make a comment? Any public comments? If there are no more public comments or comments for the commission, I think we can close this hearing. Okay,
Right.
so let's do that. We'll close this hearing, and then I'll ask Jim Peretti, I guess, to do the next one, which is 261 East Main Street. Is that the right one?
Yes.
Yeah. Special exception modification, additional office space to be added above previously approved garage, which is application 25-8.2. So, Jim, whenever you're ready.
Yes, so. I will share the screen. So this was a site plan you folks had approved last year, or beginning of the year, I believe, for this garage that goes along with the office use that's in this house. This was Rich Florentine's office for many years. Now it's Coastline Consulting, Mark Jackson. They would like to have some more office space above the garage that had already been approved. So the foundation's in, they're waiting on the framing to hopefully get approval for the second floor here. One of the things that they needed was a little vestibule area to come in here. So it kind of shifted some of the driveway and parking, but we needed additional spaces for that floor area. So one of the things that's happening here is because of the new building, now we'll need sewer. There is a sewer connection that's been reviewed and approved by the WPCA, and the septic system will be abandoned. So we moved the spaces over to here because the septic's no longer a concern. It really doesn't change the grading at all. We had this grading like this previously. We did add the dry well that was on the other spaces. We moved it over here so that this kind of runs this way, and that'll collect the water from the spaces. I did review the additional pavement and the drainage with the town engineer. And just to get a sense for, this is what, without this dormer, it's essentially the same as what was approved before, but they added this dormer to get some headroom and get the office space. And that's what it looks like from the side. So it's really not getting any higher or, volume wise, much bigger. The dormer's is adding the height requirements. But because now it's office, we needed parking, we needed sewer. So that added up to a couple of site changes. It also triggered a cam review, which was exempt before. And we don't anticipate any adverse impacts to the coastal resource. There's quite a very heavy area of phragmites that exists there now that it'll still be there.
Jim, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. This was just a modification. There wasn't a lot to it.
Okay, Mikhail?
Yep. I'll share my screen through staff comments. Jim is correct. It is a modification to previous approval that you had undertaken in January, and was that the second story, but functionally it is an addition of a use. While there's office on the site, this is, it added 10 offices above the 3-bay garage. And I couldn't find any documentation that the deep review had been done or any response. So I felt it, given the change, well within the coastal site plan review area, that it made sense for the applicant as well to have that review conducted. Obviously, the layout is different. I did highlight all the parking just to show that we have enough based on the parking calculations and how they were laid out. Meets the bulk requirements, which you essentially already were approved, and Jim said there's really not a change. They are well outside of the 25-foot setback critical coastal resources, and there is significant vegetation in place currently that acts as a buffer as well. It complies all the basic requirements as it did previously. Here's the parking calculations. 17 spaces required, 18 spaces provided on site. Since the offices were added, this is now a change for the building use, and now Fire Marshal did respond with comments that they will need to do review and have signed and or stamped and sealed registered design plans from a professional. Building department made the same comment. This is a change now from the garage, and they did go to WPCA and did get additional approvals for the office in August. And then deep comments, we made a referral back in August, and the 30 days has elapsed. So we can consider this application tonight if we desire to. The staff comments, therefore, we would just to show that it's consistent with the Coastal Area Management Act. There are a few conditions, which they largely have put into place because the site is an active construction site now, that erosion control measures be implemented. They comply with the town engineer comments, which I think he has done, given the changes to the site plan. Comply with the fire marshal and the chief building official for the need for plans, and then our standard lighting requirements as conditions. And with that, I'll turn it back to the chair.
Thank you, Mikhail. Do any of the commissioners have any other comments, discussion? Anybody from the public who would like to speak on behalf of this application? Have anybody? Okay, well, Jim, would you like to make any closing comments?
No, just the project is kind of stalled because they didn't want to frame it until they knew whether or not they could have the second floor. So they'll submit building plans to the building department as soon as we get through this. That's really all I have to add.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I will. I'm going to jump back to wetlands now. Hopefully, Michelle can tell me how y'all voted tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, I think we can close this this hearing as well now, and maybe vote on both of them. So let's start with the Prospect Hill 39 Prospect Hill Road public hearing. Mikhail, I guess I'll leave it to you. Do you have anything else you want to add?
Nope, I won't reiterate it. We just went over these, so
yes,
I'll put them on the screen so you can refer to them as you make any motions or discussion.
Again, any discussion on part of the commissioners?
I'm just noting that a landscape plan is needed. I don't know that came up. Maybe I missed it.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was mentioned.
4B. Yeah. Just sort of noting it so we make sure that gets included.
Okay, so let's make a note that is included as part of the one of the conditions.
Go on there. It's listed. I just happened to read it. It wasn't mentioned.
Mm-hmm. No, you may be correct. Is there any other? Thank you, Marcy. Is there any other comments made by commissioners? If not,
no.
Go ahead, Marcy.
Oh, I was done, but I mean, since you asked, I mean, typically this is where Sharon likes to pipe in to encourage native plantings.
Say that again. I didn't catch it.
This is typically where Sharon likes to pipe in to encourage native plantings. So I'll do it.
I'm
in
not
her
going to say
absence.
anything. Different chair.
No, I mean, this would be appropriate for native plantings. It's a
Oh,
very
it's
bucolic site, and I'm sure there's some mature trees, and hopefully those trees have been picked up. I don't know that it needs a lot of, additional canopy, but it would be nice to see some
Marcy.
more natives.
I always defer to your opinion when it comes to landscaping. So whatever you think is right, I agree with you.
Well, when you see Sharon, you tell her.
Well, Sharon takes another part of the environment. You're on the landscaping side, but okay. So let's vote on this one then. So Marcy, you're here. Will someone make a motion? Number one.
I'll make a motion to approve based on the conditions presented.
Marcy makes a motion. Do we have a second? Someone second the motion.
Dave Dyer.
Dave Dyer seconds it.
Yep.
Okay, we'll take a vote. Marcy?
Marcy's in favor.
Dave Dyer?
Dave Dyer's in favor.
Joe Ayuso?
Joe Ayuso approves.
And Fred Russo approves. So that one is done. The last one is the 251 East Main Street. We just talked about it. Application 25-8.2 was a special exception modification, additional office space to be added above a previously approved garage. Mikhail?
Yep. I posted the findings and the conditions.
Yeah, we just saw them a few minutes ago, so I think we're pretty well familiar with them. Is there any other discussion on the part of the commissioners?
No.
No. Dave?
No.
Oh, okay. It's a no. Okay. If there is none, then I would ask one of our commissioners to make a motion.
Marcy will make a motion to approve with the conditions as presented.
All right. Is there a second?
Dave Dyer
Joe
seconds.
Dave Dyer will get this one. Thank you, Joe. And we will take a vote. Marcy?
Marcy approves.
Dave?
Dave approves.
Joe Ayuso?
Joe approves.
Fred Russo approves. So those are all done. They're all in the books now. I think
Old business.
old business. Yeah, I'm just looking at. Yeah, okay, we're on old business. So, Mikhail, the first two are you. Oh, those are set for the 23rd. So, do you want to say anything about those?
Nope, not at the moment. I know we have someone waiting.
Yeah. Okay. There is a Raymond Lemley, an applicant, TSC Realty LLC owner, 61 East Industrial Road, special exception modification, add liquor service as an accessory to the at the pickleball court facilities. Application 25-9.1. And I believe, Mr. Lemley, you're here.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Raymond Lemley, Lemley, 4 Industrial Circle, Hamden, Connecticut. On behalf of the applicant, TSC Realty. The Planning Commission originally granted a special exception back in October of 2023 for the construction of the pickle and paddleball facility, which is pretty much done at this point. Whoever did that application was under the impression that that application included approval for alcohol service there. Based on that, I was brought in to apply for a liquor permit with the state of Connecticut. At that point, I went down to Town Hall, meet the planning department to get a sign off, and was informed that, in fact, liquor was not approved at that initial special exception. And based on my conversations with staff, they indicated that it would be appropriate to file for the modification to the special permit to get the liquor service approved as an accessory use, which I've done. That's before you now, and essentially it's just for liquor service for the club members and for events that are held at the club for the members. And in the event that this is approved now, then I will need to then get the appropriate signatures from town departments, planning and zoning, town clerk, and then go apply for a liquor permit with liquor control. So at this point, all I'm asking for is a modification of the existing special exception to allow for liquor service as an accessory use at the premises.
Salome, is that it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mikhail?
Let me just share real quick. This is a very minor change in many respects, but it was not disclosed. And on the plans, original plans, they had shown a retail store or space to be used in what they're going to be using now for essentially a bar. So we wanted to make sure that the commission at least was approving all the intended uses, and they felt it best that they bring it back and just disclose that. So we have a finding here. It's accessory, so and you approved the primary use, so there's really not a significant amount to look at again, and the whole site is pretty much done with a certificate of occupancy. But we're looking that you're approving the accessory use that's consistent with the proposed use and consistent with the special exception criteria. That the condition is that the liquor service added as an accessory use, so it can't outlast the primary use that was approved on October 19th, 2023. And then all previous approvals so remain in force and effect. And that's really the only thing that we wanted to correct the record.
Okay, thank you, Mikhail. Do we have any discussion with our commissioners? Any commentary?
I'll give my comments because,
Go ahead. Give it a
why
go.
not?
Give it a go.
So it's a beautiful club. I understand that it's by members, unlike around, the other side of, this is East Industrial, but unlike Business Park where we had a full-time brewery. So to me, that brewery is now closed and that created no issue. So to me, this seems like a far less, I'm not sure what the word I want to use, intensive use. My sense is that it's, like I said, just for members, not off the street, go in and purchase a beer, like a bar, which is what the brewery was more of. So, I have no issue.
Percy, thank you. Any other commissioners have a comment?
Joe Vayuso approves.
Joe.
Same thing Marcy said.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm just saying that Marcy's correct in and I agree with what she's saying. This is more or less an in-house situation, not an open business pretense, favor of a bar or selling liquor. It's just a convenience to the patrons that are there.
Yeah, it's really an accessory to the business.
Accessory to the business. That's correct.
Yeah, that's right. I agree with that too. Okay, so Dave, do you have any comment?
No, I don't. I agree with the other two.
Okay.
Members only. It shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be a problem.
I agree. All right, well, let's take a vote then. Will someone make a motion to approve the motion? Make a motion.
Marcy will make a motion to approve the accessory use as presented.
Thank you, Marcy. How about a second? Someone? You have a second to the motion?
Dave Dyer.
Second.
Who was that? Was that Dave or Joe?
Give it to Joe.
Let's give it to Joe.
Joe second.
Joe Vayuso seconded. And let's vote. Marcy?
In favor.
Dave Dyer?
In favor.
Joe Vayuso?
Joe approves.
Fred Russo approves. So that's in the books. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Mikhail, I have to ask you on this number 4, what did we decide on the Governor Island? That's not going to be heard or is going to be heard?
Yeah, we got comments today.
Dan, I should say, actually, you did the report.
So yes, we at the last minute, around 4 p.m., we got comments from Deep. So we're okay to proceed on that one.
Okay. Is Matthew Pickney here? There's someone here.
I don't see the applicant.
Yeah, I don't think we had an opportunity to notify the applicant. I don't know if you want to hear what staff have.
I don't know. I mean, we're just going to hear it again, right? When the applicant.
Okay, we can wait till the
I think we should
23rd.
postpone it, and then we'll do it the right way.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mikhail, I'll leave 4, 5, 6, and 7 up to you because it's just a matter of scheduling.
Correct. Those
So that-
can all be
I
done
don't-
on 23rd.
Yeah. I mean, is there any need to discuss those at this moment?
No, since the applicants are not here.
Right. So we could move on to new business.
No new business.
Okay. We can move on to the minutes. Assuming that the commissioners have read them, are there any objections or corrections that need to be made to them?
Nope.
No? Okay. Will someone make a motion to approve them?
Marcy makes a motion to approve the minutes, September 18 minutes.
Motion made by Marcy. Do we have a second to the motion?
Joe seconds.
Joe Ayuso seconds the motion, and we'll take a vote. Marcy,
Marcy's in favor.
Dave,
I wasn't present for the meeting, but
You abstain?
He
I
abstains.
approve.
okay. Joe
Abstain.
Ayuso?
Yep.
Joe Ayuso?
Joe Ayuso approves.
And Fred Russo approves. Correspondence.
There is a correspondence regarding Linden Avenue from Deep regarding a permit that they are needing to address. Happy to share that communication if it's of any interest, but it's really between the state and the association there.
I'd like to see it.
All right, I'll share that. But no other correspondence.
Okay. How about other business?
Planner's report.
Yep, planners report, 2 items. We went live with our digital permitting on Monday. OpenGov is now taking applications. What you will see moving forward is that agendas will have URL links associated that you can click on, and then it will be able to bring up the entire application. Everything that was submitted in forms, as well as any attachments provided, you'll be able to see, including comments from, I believe, as departments go through and review, you'll be able to see those comments. And the public will have an opportunity to see that as well, since it'll be on the agenda. And it might take a little while for the first applications that have been submitted to start to pop up in the agenda, but that will come about shortly. The other item is that next Friday, we're doing a staff retreat for the department to go over a number of different housekeeping things, sort of setting the stage as we're sort of solidifying our new Department of Planning, Conservation, and Development, and with new staff on board, clarifying roles, clarifying what our overarching mission is, and what we want to sort of, how we want to support the town as a result. Good news is we probably are very close to filling the last vacancy, having an environmental associate on board in the next couple of weeks, probably not by next Friday. But we'll be fully staffed at that point in time. I do want to say it's we've been actually intentionally trying to involve everyone on these in application review and processes. So Dan has been tackling a lot of the residential applications. Jamie Frederick has been working on the ones that are going through wetlands, but carrying them through planning and zoning. She would have been doing a 39 Prospect Hill. Had we not had the scheduling conflict with wetlands tonight. I think it's really working out well. We're trying to be more efficient and not have all the work sort of rest on one person's shoulders. But beyond that, I have no other comments, but happy to answer any questions that the commission might have.
We have a new zoning enforcement officer. Did I miss
We do.
that?
She's on the wetlands meeting, I believe. We do have a new zoning enforcement and wetlands officer. It's a combined role now. Heather Gunnell, she's a Branford resident, and we'll probably have her at the 23rd meeting, so you guys can meet her
Nice.
at that meeting.
And with the new platform, is this gonna keep this paperless? Is that the idea as well?
Yeah, no, it will be 100% paperless from start to finish. We've had our first payments done by credit card this week, which was impressive. We thought that would be the hard component to do, but it seemed to be very easy. Everyone's just is used to it, and we'll see. But we do expect about 3 months of seeing how it works and making adjustments so that it can, by the beginning of the year in 2026, I think we'll feel very confident where the system is and how it's supporting everyone.
Is it set up like Guilford's? Because I've done applications through Guilford.
I know there's other communities that use it, so I believe Guilford is one of the communities that does use it, so. Yeah.
Mikhail, Fred Russo, what is Heather's official title now? So the zoning enforcement officer title no longer exists, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, it's zoning and wetlands enforcement officer.
Oh, okay.
ZWEO.
Zoning and wetlands.
So she's still an enforcement officer. She just has more coverage.
Yes.
Yeah, more work.
More coverage, but I think many of the violations in town straddled both, and you would have 2 people going out to them. And now, if they felt like it
I'm
makes
going to
sense.
be cheeky. Does she get a uniform and a badge and a gun?
She has a badge. There's a zoning enforcement badge. I had to give her that. No guns yet.
No, we don't need. I hope we never get that point. Oh, okay. Well, anyway, is there any other issues that need to be discussed or talked about or whatever? Because if there are none, then there's only one thing left to do.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Yes, correct. Will someone make a motion to adjourn?
Marcy will make that motion.
Thank you, Marcy. Second it. Someone seconded that motion.
Desire seconds.
I think that was Joe in there first. So we'll give Joe Vayuza the second, and we'll take a vote. Marcy?
Approve.
Joe?
Joe approves.
David?
Approved.
And Fred Russo approves. So another one in the books. Thank you, everybody.
Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
job, Fred.
Thank you.
Nice.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.